Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to come on here and say a few words. So, about dehumanizing people, um, it's not really good, and that's what Candace is doing. I mean, there's a difference between disagreeing with someone and dehumanizing them. Disagreement, disagreement is you're wrong. Dehumanizing is you're not even a real person, worthy of respect. And that's exactly what we've been watching happen to Andrew Colvett, Blake Neff, and Erica Kirk from Candace. If you strip away the politics, what Candace has been doing to them is a textbook case of dehumanization. And today I want to show you exactly how it works and what happens to people when you do it. So, we're going to start with who these people are. Okay, Andrew Colvett, longtime spokesman for Turning Point USA, close friend of producer for Charlie Kirk. And Blake Neff, former writer, now commentator, closely tied to the TPUSA world, one of the guys pushing back on Candace's claim about Charlie's investigation. Erica, we know who she is. She's Charlie Kirk's widow, now CEO of Turning Point, grieving, raising her kids, and running an organization under insane public pressure. All three pushed back on Candace after she went after Erica over that Daily Mail article, and after her ongoing claims about TPUSA and Charlie's legacy. And instead of debating their points, the response turned personal. The dehumanization playbook. I want to break down three specific dehumanization tactics we've seen used here. This isn't just mean tweets. Moral dehumanization. You are evil, blasphemous, demonic. Candace didn't just say Andrew was wrong about Erica. She called his defense positively blasphemous for comparing conspiracy theory to Christian beliefs. When you frame a PR guy defending his boss as blasphemer, you're not arguing. You're saying he has no moral standing. Same with Erica going from I question her leadership to implying she's a groomer, a user, an opportunist. You're making her morally unworthy of empathy. Motive dehumanization. You are not a real person. You're a grifter actor. The constant line is Andrew saw Charlie as a ticket. Blake is paid to hate. Erica is doing an act. That's classic dehumanization. You erase their real human motives, loyal grief, belief, and replace it with you're just soulless transaction. Once you tell your audience someone is fake, you don't have to feel guilty about attacking them. Contagion dehumanization. If you associate with them, you're tainted too. This is the pile-on effect. The narrative becomes anyone who defends Erica Kirk or who works at TPUSA is part of a cover-up. It's no longer about three individuals. It creates an in-group and an out-group, where the out-group is treated contaminated. What happens to people when you do that? This is the part that matters, because dehumanization doesn't stay online. It has real consequences. First, it invites permission to harass. Psychology's research is clear on this. Once you convince people someone is not fully human, not sincere, not capable of real grief, like Erica Kirk, your audience feels morally justified in sending the most vile stuff. It's no longer, I'm harassing a widow. In their mind, it's, I'm exposing a fraud. That's how you get death threats, doxing, comments about her kids. Second, it destroys their credibility without evidence. Andrew Colvett can show receipts, post timelines, deny private conversations all day, and it doesn't matter. When you've been humanized as a liar and a grifter, nothing you say is heard as truth. The label becomes the filter. We saw this when he flatly denied telling Candace about an offer to take TPUSA to the next level. That debate wasn't about facts anymore, it was about character assassination. Third, it isolates them. For someone like Blake Neff, who is trying to correct the record, dehumanization makes other people afraid to defend him publicly. No one wants to be next, because Candace will target anybody. So the target ends up alone, fighting a crowd. And fourth, and this is the darkest part, it does lasting psychological damage, especially for someone like Erica. She is publicly grieving her husband. When you turn a grieving widow into a villain character in a true crime story for content, you are telling her that her pain isn't real, that her love wasn't real. That is dehumanizing in its purest form. It tells her you are not allowed to be a human being in pain. The biggest point: you can criticize TPUSA, you can criticize Andrew Kovac statements, you can question leadership decisions. That's fair game. They're public figures. But there is a line between criticism and dehumanization, and that line is, do you still allow them to be human? Do you allow Andrew to be a friend who is actually loyal and angry? Do you allow Blake to be a guy who genuinely disagrees with you? Do you allow Erica to be a widow who is grieving, also trying to lead? When you cross that line, you aren't just winning an argument on the internet. You are training your audience to feel no empathy. And once you train people to feel no empathy for them, they won't feel empathy for anyone else either. That's what happens when you do it. The targets get harassed, isolated, and branded, and the audience gets colder. Let me know in the comments, where do you think that line is? So, I don't know what you guys think, but I think Candace should stop dehumanizing people. It's not right. She has done the She calls people rats, maggots. She says that she even has come out and said that she thought Erica was some kind of a robot. So I don't know. I just think it's awful, and I just wanted to come on here and say that because I've been doing some research about it.